From Kuwait, tonight's headlines. Frustrated UN arms inspectors accuse the United States of sending them on wild goose chases in Iraq. Diplomatic maneuvering drags on over Turkish bases, and a new UN resolution slows the march toward war. If war comes, these U.S. Marines will help lead the way in with what they plan to be rapid and overwhelming force.
Also tonight, a Florida college professor and 7 other alleged members of Islamic Jihad are charged with supporting terror. And surgeons tried desperately to save a teenager after an incredible transplant error leaves her at the edge of death.
This is the CBS Evening News with Dan Rather reporting tonight from Kuwait and John Roberts in New York.
Good evening. I'm less than 50 miles south of the border U.S. and Allied troops would cross for a final showdown with Saddam Hussein. U.S. war planners want to strike from the north as well, but Turkey is still reluctant to serve as a launching pad. Here are today's developments. Secretary of State Colin Powell said he's looking for a, quote, creative solution to the dispute over how much aid Turkey would get for cooperating. Iraq denied Powell's charge it has links to al-Qaeda and prepared Iraqi civilians for war by distributing double food rations. Egypt's president warned that war in Iraq would ignite a, quote, gigantic fire of revenge attacks by terrorists. And CBS News has been told UN arms inspectors in Iraq are frustrated with the quality of intelligence they're getting from the United States. CBS's Mark Phillips in Baghdad has exclusive details.
The UN has been taking a precise inventory of Iraq's Al-Samud 2 missile arsenal, determining how many there are and where they are. Discovering that the Al-Samud had been flying too far in tests has been one of the inspectors' major successes. But the missile has only been exceeding its 93-mile limit by about 15 miles, and that, the Iraqis say, is because it isn't yet loaded down with its guidance system. The Al-Samud 2 is not the 800-mile-plus range missile that Colin Powell insists Iraq is developing. In fact, the claim that Iraq is developing missiles that could hit its neighbors, or U.S. troops in the region, or even Israel, is just one of the claims coming from Washington that inspectors here are finding increasingly unbelievable. The inspectors have become so frustrated trying to chase down unspecific or ambiguous U.S. leads that they've begun to express their anger privately in no uncertain terms. UN sources have told CBS News that American tips have led to one dead end after another. Example, satellite photographs purporting to show new research buildings at Iraqi nuclear sites. When the UN went to the new buildings, they found, quote, nothing, no nuclear weapons work. Example, Saddam's presidential palaces, where the inspectors went with specific coordinates supplied by the U.S. on where to look for incriminating evidence. Again, they found nothing. Example, interviews with scientists about the aluminum tubes the U.S. says Iraq has imported for enriching uranium, but which the Iraqis say are for making rockets. Given the size and specification of the tubes, the UN calls the Iraqi alibi airtight. The inspectors do acknowledge, however, that they would not be here at all were it not for the threat of U.S. military action. So frustrated have the inspectors become that one source here referred to the American intelligence they've been getting as garbage after garbage after garbage. In fact, the source used another, cruder word. The inspectors find themselves caught between the Iraqis, who are masters of the weapons-hiding shell game, and the United States, whose intelligence they've found to be outdated or circumstantial or just plain wrong. Mark Phillips, CBS News, Baghdad.
In Washington today, a senior administration official said the United States will present a draft war resolution to the UN Security Council next week, but it is less certain when the Council might vote on the resolution. And as CBS's Bill Plant reports from the White House, that could well push back the Pentagon's invasion timetable.
In what amounts to an admission that the U.S. has failed to convince most members of the UN Security Council, administration officials now say there is not likely to be a vote on the second resolution until after the next report from the chief UN weapons inspector, which is at least 10 days away. With only 4 of the 15 council members now in favor of a new resolution declaring Iraq in further material breach, the White House has little choice but to give in, effectively allowing the inspectors more time, as most council members are demanding. Despite the diplomatic slowdown, the Pentagon continues to move troops, another 5,000 soldiers ordered today from Italy to the Persian Gulf. However, a key piece of the war plan remains in doubt tonight. Military planners want to base 40,000 troops in Turkey to open up a northern front against Iraq. But 43 cargo ships carrying equipment for the 4th Infantry Division remain at sea, waiting for the U.S. and Turkey to agree on terms of the deal. The administration says its offer of $6 billion in grants and $20 billion in loans is final.
There may be some other creative things we can do, but the level was our ceiling.
A Turkish source denies his government is horse trading, pointing out that 95% of Turks are opposed to war with neighboring Iraq. He says an answer is likely tomorrow. The White House today accused Iraq of doing little or nothing to cooperate with inspectors, since Hans Blix suggested last week that Iraq had made some progress.
Denial and endless delay in the face of growing danger is not an option.
But more delay seems inevitable. As the White House focused on Iraq's lack of cooperation, officials in Baghdad finally turned over a list the UN inspectors had been asking for, of people it said were involved in destroying Iraq's biological weapons. Bill Plant, CBS News, the White House.
If and when war with Iraq does begin, the vast majority of U.S. ground troops will be wearing Army uniforms. But as they've done for 200 years and counting, the U.S. Marines will be first to fight. A short artillery throw from the Iraqi border, Marines are practicing to help lead an opening attack designed to overwhelm the Iraqis with shock and awe. Speed and firepower are the keys.
If and when this thing kicks off, we're going to hit them hard and fast, and they won't have a chance. They won't have a chance.
The Marines' battle cry, their creed, is be quick and be deadly. And that is why the Corps is expected to be among the first to sweep deep into Iraq. Speed and maneuverability will be especially crucial in the very early stages. With their light armor carrying heavy firepower, Marines would move swiftly to take out defensive positions, hopefully leading to a straight shot run to Baghdad.
Go, 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 go. This is a 7.62 squad automatic weapon there.
Colonel Rick Long may be at the forefront of the first firefights. During the Gulf War, Marines were meant to serve mostly as a diversionary force, but they surprised planners by taking Kuwait City before the Army's main force flanking operation got fully rolling. Colonel Long doesn't expect anything like that this time.
The Army wins wars, the Marine Corps wins battles. The Marine Corps usually comes in and kind of kicks the door down, and then the Army would be the sustaining force.
Most of the Marines' history is that of a seaborne amphibious assault force. But the only beach they've taken here is the port of Kuwait, where they unload equipment. But Marines say they've simply adapted their shores of Tripoli tradition for swift, deep strikes in the desert.
We're lighter, we're quicker, we are very lethal, and we continue to refine our capabilities where you might see us operating very far from the sea.
And far out on the sands, Marine guns are locked and loaded to deliver so much firepower that it awes even the grunts who will deliver it.
I feel sorry for them. I mean, I wish we didn't have to do it. I wish we didn't have to be here. But we're Marines, we're in the service. The president wants to do this. It's our job. So got to do what we got to do.
Young Marines on the front lines. I'll be back later in the broadcast with the story of a soldier who is praying for peace even as he prepares for war. But right now, John Roberts has more of the day's news from the home front. John?
Thanks, Dan, and good evening from New York. Even as the United States prepares for a possible war against Iraq, there is late word tonight of a major escalation in the U.S. war on terror. President Bush is sending about 3,000 troops to the southern Philippines to fight against Muslim militants. CBS News has been told the U.S. force will include several hundred special ops troops who will operate with the Philippine Army beginning this spring. About 2,200 U.S. Marines will go to the region but remain aboard their warships as backup reserves. On the terror trail in this country, federal authorities today accused a university professor and 7 other people of, in effect, operating an international terror cell from a college campus in South Florida. Some suspects are still being sought tonight. CBS News correspondent Jim Stewart is on the case.
The men were picked up before dawn on a 121-page indictment that's been in the works for over 2 years. It charges them with being members of the Palestinian Islamic Jihad, a group which has killed more than 100 people in Israel and the occupied territories, mostly by suicide bombers. It accuses them of supporting, financing, and relaying messages for the group. But most damning, it also alleges they chatted with terrorist operatives after several of the attacks, asking questions like how much the bomb cost, what type of explosive was used, and then raised money back in the U.S. for family members of the suicide bomber responsible.
We make no distinction between those who carry out terrorist attacks and those who knowingly finance, manage, or supervise terrorist organizations.
The chief suspect is this man, Palestinian Sami Al-Arian, a professor at the University of South Florida who has lived in America for 28 years. Aaron Moriarty of 48 Hours Investigates once confronted him over a statement he made saying, "Let us damn America, let us damn Israel and their allies until their death."
Let us damn America.
Right, that's a stupid comment, but really what was meant here is the American policy.
Al-Arian isn't the first University of South Florida professor with ties to terrorism. Professor Ramadan Abdullah Shala left teaching to become the actual head of the Palestinian Islamic Jihad. The only real surprise is that this indictment took so long. It's an open secret the FBI has been watching the men. Some of the wiretaps referred to in the indictment, in fact, go back over 8 years. Jim Stewart, CBS News, Washington.
Coming up next on tonight's CBS Evening News, righting a tragic wrong. Surgeons give a teenager a second heart-lung transplant but say the odds are against her. The latest on her condition in a moment.
What do I want in a Glade plug-in? Well, it'd be fresh. What about a nightlight and an extra outlet? Perfect.
Glade plug-ins extra outlet nightlight.
Plug it in, plug it in. Now that's a bright idea.
Marie Callender made her chicken pot pie with tender white meat chicken and a golden flaky crust made from scratch. And we're still making it Marie's way. Marie Callender's chicken pot pie, made with the care of Marie.
So, you want to open a checking account?
Yes, but I don't want to pay for it.
Right. And you want online banking?
Right, if it's free.
And unlimited online bill paying?
I don't want to have to pay for that either.
No. So you want total security protection on your check card, free?
Look, I just don't think I should have to pay for any of it.
Neither do we.
Free checking plus with direct deposit from Bank of America. Higher standards.
For years, we made excuses not to take fiber for regularity.
Mixing an extra drink that's gloppy and can cause excess gas.
Now there's something different.
New Clear Mix from Citruscell.
Unflavored fiber specially designed to mix completely into your favorite drink.
Like the juice you drink anyway.
So now it's easy to take fiber the way you like.
And the fiber in Clear Mix won't cause excess gas.
At last, fiber we don't mind taking.
New Clear Mix from Citruscell. Unflavored fiber you mix in whatever drink you like.
Now, changing a hearing aid battery is this precise. With the Energizer Easy Change, the world's first hearing aid battery dispenser. You just turn and slide. A magnet holds the battery for precise placement every time, no matter the hearing aid style or battery size. And now, Energizer batteries have up to 15% longer life.
Count of 3, you're going to be a chicken. 1.
Is this dangerous?
No, you don't even need that insurance. 2.
What insurance?
If you're sick, you miss work, they pay you cash. 3. You're a chicken. Now, you're a duck.
Aflac. Ask about it at work.
Aflac.
In North Carolina today, surgeons tried to undo the damage of a botched transplant operation by giving a teenager from Mexico her second transplant surgery in 2 weeks. This time with organs from a donor who was a correct match. Medical correspondent Elizabeth Caledon reports on the scramble by one of the world's top hospitals to keep a clerical mistake from becoming a fatal error.
Defying all the odds, 17-year-old Jessica Santillan pulled through a second heart-lung transplant early this morning. Doctors at Duke Medical Center are expressing as much relief as remorse.
This has been a very difficult and a heart-wrenching time for many people here at Duke.
On February 7th, surgeons here made the mistake of transplanting organs from a donor with type A blood into Jessica, who has type O positive blood. Her body rejected the incompatible organs, and she suffered a heart attack and seizures. The error, a first of its kind at Duke, kicked off an investigation that uncovered some key missteps in communication. A statement released by lead surgeon Dr. James Jaggers says, "I am heartbroken. I assumed that the organs were compatible." But Dr. Jaggers never made any verbal confirmation that the organs were a match, a major oversight in the process. 3 additional doctors approved today's second transplant, and the process here will have extra layers of oversight from now on. In the meantime, Jessica has a long, hard road ahead.
She is as critical as a person can be. I can't really say anybody could be any sicker.
For days, she's been sustained by machines while her body was actively rejecting the incompatible organs. Other vital organs, including her brain and kidneys, may have suffered lasting damage. Late this afternoon, Jessica's parents spoke through a translator.
They're going to wait and see how Jessica reacts when she comes back, when she regains consciousness.
It's so rare that a second set of suitable organs became available that many questions are being raised about whether Jessica got special treatment at the expense of others. The hospital says no. The organs, they say, came through regular channels and arrived without a moment to lose. John?
A godsend, but still such a tragic story. Elizabeth, thanks. Coming up next on the CBS Evening News, the Market Watch, the role of oil in a possible conflict with Iraq, greasing the wheels of war or fueling the opposition.
Tonight's Market Watch segment is sponsored by Mutual of Omaha, insurance and financial services.
Ask me anything about cranberries. I spent a good part of my life knee-deep in them. But when it came time to start figuring out retirement and all that, I wasn't over my head. I don't admit that very often. I found someone I trusted, and we put together a whole plan. Now I don't have to think about it too much. Suits me fine.
Retirement and estate planning from Mutual of Omaha. It's never too late to start planning for tomorrow. Begin today.
With Crest White Strips, the strip stays for 30 minutes, so it whitens 5 times better.
Now we're talking.
Crest White Strips. The secret to a whiter smile is in the strip.
Why do so many people trust GMAC Real Estate? It's because our agents offer premier service. A commitment to service that caters to your specific needs. Which means whether you're buying or selling a home, we'll listen to your needs and get you where you want to be. It's no wonder we have an overwhelming 94% customer satisfaction rating. GMAC Real Estate. Service you deserve. People you trust.
The dry winter air can dry out your furniture. Pledge with orange oil not only cleans, Pledge moisturizers help protect your wood against winter dryness. Pledge with orange oil. Pledge to be good to winter wood.
Morning, Joe. New haircut? No. New shoes? No.
Hey, Joe. You been working out?
No.
Hey, Joe. Shave your mustache?
Nope. You sure that's not a new haircut? Yes. Did you just get back from vacation? No. Did you get a promotion? No. Did I? No. No.
What's different? He finally asked his doctor about Viagra. Ready to ask your doctor about Viagra for the first time? Find out if a free sample is right for you. To learn more, visit Viagra.com. Ask your doctor and see the difference.
See it build.
See it transform. If you have an idea, a plan, a dream, see it with CIT.
In Venezuela today, a government crackdown provoked new opposition protests and threats of a revived general strike. The protesters were angered by the late-night arrest of an opposition leader accused of rebellion against the regime of President Hugo Chavez. Witnesses say the man was beaten by the arresting officers. The disruption of oil exports from Venezuela has helped push world oil prices up 45% since November. So has the possibility of a U.S. war with Iraq, which holds the world's second largest oil reserves. Two of America's allies, France and Russia, have been especially outspoken against war with Iraq, and it turns out that well of opposition runs much deeper than just politics, as Anthony Mason reports on the Market Watch.
Get out of my way. The crisis in Iraq is not about oil, the world's diplomats say, but some key countries that are resisting a war have a big stake in these Iraqi oil fields.
In the whole oil arena, Russia is Iraq's #1 partner. I mean, they've signed billions of dollars of deals to develop fields. They're also their biggest trade partner by far.
Under UN sanctions, Saddam can sell oil only to raise money for humanitarian supplies. And Iraq pumps about 2.5 million barrels a day. Russian companies broker and handle about 40% of those oil exports.
The Iraq business is very important to some players, including some Russian companies that are close to the Kremlin.
Saddam has often rewarded his political allies with oil deals. And if Russia is Saddam's favorite, analyst Thane Gustafsson says,
the French are right behind.
France's largest oil company, Total Fina Elf, has been negotiating to develop 2 giant Iraqi oil fields. While French President Jacques Chirac has strongly resisted military action against Baghdad, France remains Iraq's 3rd largest trading partner. Like the Russians,
they definitely have a vested interest in this financially. Who knows what's going to happen in a post-war Iraq? They stand to lose billions of dollars in future revenue.
Because any new Iraqi government would likely void Saddam's oil deals, as exiled Iraqi opposition leader Ahmed Shalabi told 60 Minutes.
Any contracts are either illegal or unfair.
The U.S. has quietly reassured Russia its interests will be protected in a post-Saddam Iraq. But President Putin has other concerns. Oil exports are crucial to the Kremlin's tax revenues. If Saddam's successors begin to flood the market with crude, the price could slide.
If the price of oil goes down, then it's the whole Russian government that takes a big hit. That's 60% of their revenues, directly and indirectly, that start to head downhill.
The debate at the UN may be about a dictator and his weapons, but the diplomacy over Iraq is also clouded by the politics of oil. Anthony Mason, CBS News, New York.
On the CBS Weather Watch, it's the big snow melt after the big blizzard in the east. In Boston, they scrambled to clear sewer grates so the melting snow would have someplace to go. In Philadelphia, there's still so much snow, they're dumping truckloads of it into the Delaware River. And in New Jersey, some residents found mountains of plowed snow now block their homes and driveways. I'm John Roberts in New York. In a moment, a profile of courage when the CBS Evening News continues with Dan Rather in Kuwait.
Gotta go right now. Gotta go right now. Gotta go.
If you've always got to go, ask your doctor about Detrol LA. It's been proven effective for overactive bladder.
Anyone need a break?
Not right now.
You shouldn't take it if you have stomach, urinary, or glaucoma problems. The most common side effects are dry mouth, constipation, abdominal pain, and headache.
And I don't have to go right now.
Detrol LA. When you've always got to go.
Oh, well, we've worked too long and hard to let a bad market postpone our retirement.
Will you have enough income to maintain your lifestyle?
We've done the proper planning.
Yes. Oh, a Merrill Lynch financial advisor is looking beyond 401ks and IRAs to mortgages, insurance.
Protected growth investments.
These days you have to.
Are you confident with Merrill Lynch?
You bet.
Most definitely.
Introducing Total Merrill. We see your financial life in total.
When you have acid reflux disease, heartburn boils up again and again.
But bad as the heartburn can be, the real threat is what lies beneath.
Over time, that burning acid could wear away the lining of your esophagus, and even if your heartburn symptoms aren't severe, the damage can be.
I didn't know.
I didn't know.
Your doctor knows about a purple pill called Nexium. Nexium goes to the source of the problem, actually reducing the amount of acid your body creates.
For many people, one prescription Nexium a day provides complete 24-hour
day and night heartburn relief.
And importantly, Nexium is proven to heal acid reflux erosions in the esophagus. Other serious stomach conditions may still exist. The most common side effects of Nexium are headache, diarrhea, and abdominal pain. Talk to your doctor and call this number for more information and a free trial offer for Nexium.
Relieve the heartburn, heal the damage. It's possible with the purple pill called Nexium.
Only new Oust air sanitizer kills odor-causing bacteria in the air.
I mostly sprayed Lysol in the air. I thought Lysol was an air sanitizer.
It's true, Lysol works on surfaces, but it's not meant for the air. Only Oust air sanitizer kills 99.9% of odor-causing bacteria in the air.
My daughter Carly is like a tomboy, and her clothes are stinky and gross. Little spray, right away it smells great, just fresh.
Get odor-causing bacteria out with new Oust air sanitizer. S.C. Johnson, a family company.
Oust gets rid of the odors, doesn't mask the odors.
Coming up on News Channel 5 at 6, the human cost of cutting tin care. A woman suffers because she cannot afford her medicine. The story at 6 o'clock.
Back now in Kuwait. The soldiers here may not talk about it every day. Certainly they think about it. Life and death. The reality of war. CBS's Byron Pitts has the story of a man who may soon be facing that reality. A profile of courage.
Make no mistake, this is a tough business.
It's a serious, dangerous business we're in. We're in the business of killing people.
And not a single soldier or Marine we've met here takes that responsibility lightly.
It's scary, you know. A fool will tell you he's not.
Men like Staff Sergeant Patrick Greenwood from Columbus, Georgia. A reluctant warrior concerned about his troops, deeply concerned about the possibility Saddam could use biological or chemical weapons.
The weapons inspectors are finding more.
Are you worried about that?
Oh, Roger. Yes. Nobody wants to put the mask on.
Sergeant Greenwood has another worry, the high cost of combat. By his own account, Patrick Greenwood was a hellraiser as a teenager, undisciplined, unmotivated. The service, he says, changed that. 16 years in, married with 2 sons. He now wants to leave the military soon, become a missionary, save souls. But first, he may have to take a few.
How does someone who plans on retiring and doing missionary work square that with what you may have to do now?
To possibly have to go hurt somebody, maybe even kill them, and then turn around and do some of the God's work. I struggle with it. I pray about it.
Receive Christ's body. Every morning here, but especially Sunday mornings, when the sun stands guard above the sand, men and women like Sergeant Greenwood pray for peace, for courage, for wisdom. In the Bible, Ecclesiastes 3 reads, "To everything there is a season."
There is a time for peace, there's a time for war.
Roger.
And for Sergeant Greenwood and thousands more, the time for war seems closer every day. Byron Pitts, CBS News, Kuwait.
And that's part of our world tonight. Dan Rather reporting and inviting you to join us again tomorrow for the CBS Evening News. From Kuwait City, good night.
For news 24 hours a day, go to cbsnews.com. AOL keyword CBS News. The latest ATM scams are Friday Consumer Alert. Tomorrow, experience CBS News.
From your news and information leader, this is News Channel 5 at 6 with Chris Clark and Vicki Yates.
Good evening, everybody. Topping our news tonight, some incredible charges by relatives of a man shot to death by the Springfield police.
First on 5, an exclusive interview with the only eyewitness to a deadly police shooting Tuesday night. Springfield police say Randall Grogan forced them to shoot him in his own home. But tonight, Grogan's widow tells News Channel 5's Scott Couch he never had a chance.
They never said, drop the gun. They never said anything. I'm sure he had a gun in his hand
but they just started shooting.
It's a real-life nightmare Sherry Grogan has been reliving since Tuesday night. Grogan's husband Randall was shot to death by Springfield police. They were responding to a domestic violence call. Authorities say Grogan was told repeatedly to drop his gun.
The weapon was brought up by Mr. Grogan, pointed at one of the officers, and that's when they fired.
It didn't happen that way.
Grogan